Hello chess lovers! In my previous video I shared with you a game played by Iranian chess grandmaster Parham Maghsoodloo, who confidently won 2021 Iranian chess championship. Moreover, in the last 12 rounds he celebrated a victory. In this video I want to take a look at another exciting game played by Maghsoodloo. This is a game played in round 13 and Maghsoodloo is on the black side and he's playing against Mani Jahedi. Jahedi opened up with e4, to which Maghsoodloo answered with good old Sicilian defense. Knight f6, knight c3, d6 classical variation is on the board, against which white is applying the razor-sharp Richter-Rauzer variation. Of course, in Richter-Rauzer variation, white is not developing this light-squared bishop too early, thus with bishop e2, white is now deviating from the main theoretical battle, but seems like that this type of maneuver is okay, and very soon white is getting a very pleasant position. G takes f6. Of course, black can't recapture with the bishop because can leave this pawn on d6 unguarded. But of course, there is nothing wrong with black's pawn structure. This is a standard structure which can be seen very often in Sicilian defense. Usually in many cases, like in this game, we can see that black will put his king on e7 and these pawns will serve as a nice defensive shield. Meanwhile, white is centralizing his knight, bishop h5, bishop f8. According to Stockfish, at this point black needs to play castling king side and then if needed king h8. But in the game we see bishop f8 and soon white's attack is becoming very scary, you know. First we see this prophylactic move and a pawn storm is on the board. Black is boldly leaving his king in the center, hoping that these pawns will save him. e5, already white is striking in the center, trying to open up the position. Maghsoodloo is trying to keep the center as closed as possible, and there comes f5. F takes e5, f takes e6, f takes e6, and white rook is penetrating the 7th rank. Black's defense is crumbling. Queen g5, not the strongest continuation. Stockfish suggests knight b3. If queen b6, then queen b4 check, and then queen e7. And if queen c4, then knight a5. And again, white is maintaining a very dangerous attack and black is in trouble. The engine gives white +5 advantage. This is crushing. Instead in the game we see queen g5. It takes d4, queen e7 check, king c6, and white is winning back the sacrificed piece and is chasing black king all over the board. Oops, at this point, sorry, we see rook c6, queen f5, bishop h8, and the pawn on h7 also drops. Rook gc8, hitting on c2, rook b7 check, king a5, and a3. A mistake which is allowing black to equalize. Rook c1 is better, and then white can calmly proceed with the attack. But instead we see a3, which is allowing black to force an exchange of queens. And thus black is somehow managing to neutralize the attack, you know, and is almost equalizing. Check, king a2, rook e1, bishop f7, rook e3. Well, rook c2 followed by rook e2 could give black better chances. Instead we see rook e3, bishop g6, although rook d2 is better, you know, not allowing black rooks to intrude the 2nd rank. Bishop g6, and now rook e2 could be good for black, but instead we see rook c1. This is actually a mistake and allows white to win elegantly, but in this critical situation white made a serious mistake and played a losing move. The winning move is rook d1. The idea is that now if you accept the rook sacrifice, then black rook is no longer controlling the c2 square and white can announce a checkmate. A study-like checkmate can appear on the board. Or after rook d1, if rook c4, then bishop d3. And again, yes, white is winning. This time white can sacrifice the bishop on b5 and can announce a checkmate with the rook. Instead, white played b4 check, but this allowed black king to come near to its enemy and create problems. Rook c6, bishop f5, check, king b1. It's black who is dominating. Yeah, already the engine shows forced mate. Rook c3, rook a7, king b3, rook d1, d3. Black not only tightened the loose, but also opened up this dark squared bishop's diagonal. Bishop takes d3, a desperate attempt, but there comes rook b2 check, king a1. And now black is already announcing a forced mate in 3. Can you find black's next move? Ready? Actually, there are two ways of announcing forced mate in 3. Maghsoodloo played rook c1 check and white resigned. If rook takes c1, then rook a2 check followed by rook a1 checkmate. But the other line is also very beautiful. In here, black can play rook a2 check, and after king b1 can sacrifice the rook on a1, and then with a double check can announce a checkmate. This was a very dramatic game. White had great chances of winning. Well, at this point, instead of rook d1, for example, white played b4, the losing move, and lost the game. That was painful, of course, but on the other hand, Maghsoodloo demonstrated his high class. In the end, a chess puzzle for you, which is taken from Maghsoodloo's game played in round 5. The task is to win with the white pieces. As usual, we'll wait for your answer in the comment section. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in my next video.